Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing a new Escalade IQ. This one has a very unique interior, so I think it would be really cool to show you guys. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Provo Cadillac for giving me some time with this Escalade. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below. If you have any questions, just ask for Alec. Let's get into it. So this produces 750 horsepower and then 785 pound-feet of torque in velocity mode. The standard output is like somewhere in the 600 range for the horsepower, is also pretty crazy. 460 miles on a charge, so it's got plenty of range. You have a little escape button here in this front trunk, and then we have an outlet as well. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Taking a look at the hood, you can see it raises up towards the center, and then we've got a crazy headlight design here with the Escalade IQ, and if you unlock it, it'll do a little, kind of like a light dance similar to the regular Escalade. There we go. Takes a moment, but that's pizzazz. Anyways, the front end's all closed off for aerodynamic efficiency, and there you go. Our tire wheel setup is 275 by 50 by 24. You can see the wheels are metallic gray. You've got these nice painted fender flares. Got that little Cadillac logo there on the side. Got the side steps there as well. And then this has a very aerodynamic design, so looks very interesting. Now this leads us to the key fob, which, there we go. Lock and unlock. We've got a remote start function. We've got the opening for the front and for the rear hatch here. And taking a look at the cargo area, this is in between an Escalade and an Escalade ESV in terms of the sizing, so you've got decent space behind the third row. And then just like a regular Escalade, you can raise and lower the third row, you can lower down the second row. And then you've got nice trim here at the bottom section. Again, pretty cool looking taillights, not quite as tall as the regular Escalade, and then you can see your 1000 E4 badge. And yeah, look at that. Gotta love the animations on this. I think it makes it exciting. Now this leads us into the passenger cabin, which this is the exciting part, I think, in this one is the interior. Look at the blue, and then you got the gray, all the speakers here for the sound system, by the way. But yeah, this trim just looks whoops. That closes the door automatically. Anyways, the trim looks really cool. And it goes down pretty far. And then you can see that continues onto the seats here too. Look at that. That is nice stuff. And then notice you got that little screen there in the center for the passengers to open and close the doors. Turn on the heated seats as well. And then there's charging ports down below. Captain chairs in this one. And plenty of space. I mean, you can see legroom's massive. Also, this one has TVs in the back. And then the third row seats are actually just as nice as the second row in terms of the trim design. And then you also have a USB port there in the back. It does slope in the back though, so that does get in the way of headroom compared to a regular Escalade that's just boxier, but they do have vents throughout the top, which is nice. But yeah, the captain chairs and everything there in the back is really cool, and there's so much space. Popping up front, we've got and more of the blue trim. All of our window controls here, the mirrors, they power fold in. You've got heated and cooled seats for the front, massaging seats, and then kind of like Mercedes style with the adjustments there on the door panel. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then here's the front seat, and really nice trim. And then the opening for the front, and then the hatch, and then you got more of that nice trim there. And by the way, the glass, super thick. So this is pretty cool. Foot on the brake, the door closes, and the car automatically turns on. Now this is going to come with all of the fancy tech. So we do have Super Cruise with this. You've got that little paddle there in the back of the steering wheel for regen, and then just regular stocks there. It does have column shifter too, by the way. And then we've got our volume controls here, voice command controls. You can adjust stuff with the music. Heated steering wheel function is there on the steering wheel itself, and then the controls for the cruise control, and then your V mode, of course. But yeah, nice setup there. Now I've got this digital gauge cluster here in the center, and you can change what it displays here. It's pretty customizable. It's even in a night vision mode as well. And speaking of screens, Cadillac and Ford, or just GM and Ford, are in a screen battle because there's the gauge cluster. Then we've got, yes, the screen there. And then we have another screen all over the car. So like the whole dash is a screen. I don't know if this is going to be a mainstay in the car industry, but it's definitely interesting. I like how the camera view is not that much, like it's not any bigger than any other GM product though. It's like you have all this real estate and that's your camera view. Not bad though. But anyways, quick response time with the top screen there, and you can access stuff like the drive modes. And notice how you can adjust different functions within the drive modes. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Well, that's your My Mode. I wonder if you can do the same with Touring. No, yeah, so it's set with these ones. Just the My Mode that you can adjust, which makes sense. And of course you got the VMAX mode too. Now just quickly, the passenger screen is kind of like an infotainment system in a way, but it's mostly just for like entertainment. You can see you've got YouTube, Hulu and all that, so you can imagine your passenger can be watching TV while you're driving, and I mean, some of you might like that. Me, too much tech. Trailer brake controls integrated down below, and then you guys can see here with the controls for the climate, it's all in this section right here. And yeah, you can control each of the rows, and then notice this tab here. So like if you go to doors, that's how you open up the glove box, for example. So it's that button right there. So there's quite a bit built into that little system, and then you do have a little physical control stack right below it as well. Phone charging pad right there, and then cup holders, another phone charging pad. Big center console here. Nice trim on the top. You've got storage underneath as well. Camera rear view mirror with this, and then you've got a giant glass roof. So here's what I'm going to sticker for this IQ Sport 2 2025. I like how it just says none for the engine. That's kind of cool. And then if you're wondering, it's Harbor Blue / Backen Black Accent. Interesting. 156,985 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off. And this does have, again, the rear steer, so that will greatly improve the turning radius of this when need be, right? Man, that's aggressive with the regen. Wow. So what I'll say right off the bat is the camera system's kind of cool that it's on all the time. Let's see if it turns off at higher speeds, or if that's just what it does. Because that would definitely make a person sick. Not me, I'll be fine, but I can see how that could be. Yeah, it looks like it's not turning off. Huh. I mean, of course you can, if you want, you can turn it off, but interesting. Seats are pretty darn comfortable. Let's turn on that massage function. Yeah. That's nice. And you know, a lot of the trim throughout, I mean, synthetic, you can tell. Feels pretty nice overall though. So, pretty good job with that for the most part. And it's not raining too hard, but I mean, it's impressive to see the insulation here. Like, you can hear the drops, but it's not too bad. So I think that's another positive. Why is this Gladiator not even trying? They could have gone like several times over. Or maybe they're going straight? No, because that person's going straight. This is a turn lane. What are they doing? What is with Jeep drivers? Jeep drivers and sometimes Toyota drivers too. I own a Jeep in the past, and I own some Toyotas now, but man, just slow. Just slow. Wow. And of course it's effortless with the acceleration. Being fully electric. Man, this thing just doesn't drive all that big. I mean, it feels like a hefty vehicle, but the turn-in is really sharp because of that four-wheel steering. It's quite impressive. And going over these little bumps and everything, with the adjustable suspension and all that, it soaks it up pretty darn well. So, done well on that. Let's go to the... Okay, drive modes. Let's do two different ones. So we'll do sport mode first. See how that kind of feels. Okay, so this is in sport mode. Oof. It's got a punch. It's kind of like the Hummer EV where it hides the speed quite well. So that's something to note. Oh, whoa. Yeah, crazy. Lost a little bit of traction there. Jiminy Cricket. Had a slight heart attack. Yeah, that's pretty darn quick. This is an interesting car. I wonder, like, how many people are looking for this, like, luxury, 3-row, insanely fast EV. And it's got good range. I think this will actually do pretty well, all things considered. Because the problem with a lot of other EVs is they just don't have enough range, but because this has so much range, it does have a big battery, but because it has so much range, I think that'll kind of negate a lot of the critiques that people will have about something like this. So let me know what you guys think about the loaded up IQ. Let me think about this blue interior. That's the only reason why I reviewed it, is because it's got this cool kind of blue interior. I thought you guys might like seeing something that's a little bit different, a little bit flashier.